All right, greetings everyone. Welcome to week 73 in the rise of Obticeo. I started this account January of 22. Been updating the account's progress every week, go through all the characters, ships, mods, datacrons, whatever we're doing for the account, so that you all can follow along. So we're going to go through the account status as of the start of this live stream today. We are at week 73. We have 4.67 million galactic power, 37 relics, 45 zetas, 7 omicrons. CLS is getting us top 200 in the squad arena. Profundity's top 5. And we dropped to GAC. We dropped to Chromium 4 by 1 skill point. Got a hair in my mouth. Sorry. So yeah. I lost Chromium 3 now. I'm in Chromium 4. I'm 1 skill point away from Chromium 3. Oh, man. Fennec is on the list for this week. I guess I didn't update that, but we'll take a look. The targets for next week will probably be Rooster. We'll probably need to get him to Relic. That's the next target. Just working through the rest of those Jabba the Hutt requirements. Plan for energy. We're still doing Scion, Bastila, and Juhani. We are planning to do that Darth Revan unlock somewhere as a tier 2 in the background, so we're working on that. And then all the other energy, all the time, every day, is just going to Kairos now. Cairo, more Cairo, and then farm some Cairo. The Sith Fighter, we're farming for fleet energy, and then we're using that fleet energy again for the purple materials for relicing characters now, because we can buy so much of the gold stuff through the new raid system. Cantina, we're farming signal data, but we're gonna change that over to Krrsantan starting this week. I'll talk about that more here in a second. Mods, still planning to farm mods 5 days a week, slicing materials on the weekends. I like that routine. It's working out really well for me. It's kind of strange. I don't know. Now that I've settled into this routine, I kind of wish that I'd done it sooner, because it is, for me, a nice balance. The refresh strategy, 3 on mod, 3 energy, 3 fleet, and then try to get 3 Cantina refreshes every day. I struggle still with this account. I struggle to get my 3 Cantina refreshes every day consistently all the time. And that means also there's some consequences for Conquest on that I can't afford that many refreshes for Conquest. Okay, so Krrsantan, I checked his release date. It was 21st of July, 2022. So that puts that double drop farming for Krrsantan 8 weeks away. And that's just way too long. I'm 4 relics from complete on this Jabba journey. And at the rate I'm going, I'll be done in 3 or 4 weeks. And if I don't have Krrsantan to relic, then 3 weeks from now, I'll be out of relics for the journey. And that's 5 weeks before he even goes to double drops. So there's no way I can wait. I just have to start farming the wiki on double drops or single drops. I don't like it, but I even for the sake of efficiency, I don't feel like I can put this off for an extra 5 weeks. So looking for other sources of signal data. A lot of people like this pack that come... Oh man, get the hiccups now. Sorry, y'all. A lot of people like this pack that comes out on Mondays, costs $10. You get a bunch of materials in here. So if you look at this pack, the reason a lot of people like it is because it represents a lot of value. If you look at the signal data, you multiply out all the signal data that you get, it's 1350 crystals worth of signal data. If you multiply out, and this is just the shop costs, what it would cost you to buy this stuff out of the shop. So if you look at all of the relic scavenger pieces, it's 3310 crystals worth. And then you get 100 crystals and some energy and some credits, and that represents about 300 more crystals worth. So in total, you're almost $5,000 worth of crystal value for $10. And it's about $1,600 for 1,600 crystals for $10. So this represents 3 times the value for compared with buying crystals, if you were to buy crystals and try to buy these materials. So the $10 pack contains a lot of materials that are going to be the bottlenecks for a lot of accounts. It is a good value, so over 3 times the crystal value. And if you think of it, like, you know, you could maybe buy a movie ticket or something like that for $10. So it's not that much in the grand scheme of things. But then if you look at it over the course of a whole year, people who are buying this every Monday, it's $500 a year. So adding that up over a long time, it seems like a lot to me. And there's also a little bit of a trap to it, because if you get to the point where that's what's holding you back, and you buy this pack, just be aware you get 20 bronzium wirings with it. And if you look at the other materials you get, and you look at the total ratio of all the stuff you need for relicking a character, your ratio of carbonite circuit boards and bronzium wiring is low compared to the ratio of everything else. So by making the signal data go faster, you're actually compounding the problem with not having enough bronzium wiring. So it's basically what I would say is if you want to buy these packs, if you want to be a small spender, then maybe you could consider buying these packs when you're farming something else with your Cantina energy. So as you farm characters, you know, buy a couple of those packs to balance out what you're losing by farming characters. But I don't think that I could recommend buying it every week. I think it will accelerate for your first few relics that you buy it for, and then after that, you're really going to be looking for sources of bronzium wiring, even harder than you do now. So without spending cash, there's another pack that comes up in the shop that's is very similar. It looks very similar to the $10 pack when you look at it, but if you read the data on the cards, you get a 50% chance to get 5, a 45% chance to get 10, and a 5% chance to get 15. So overall, what you get out of this pack is significantly less than the other pack. And in fact, by my calculations, it doesn't even make it to the 1,500 crystal value based on average drops. So it's a pretty bad deal, and you average about 8 of each material over a long period of time, because, you know, average 5 and 10 is 7.5, and then you throw in the chances that you get for the 15. So it's 8 each, and this pack is just not worth it. So if you're not spending the $10, don't spend the crystals, because the pack is significantly less value. Okay, so that's going to leave me farming Krrsantan and looking for signal data somewhere else. I'll experiment with that over the next couple weeks and see how I can balance it out. What I'll probably do is continue to bring characters to Relic, and if I have to park them at lower Relic levels, then, you know, I would rather be finishing out my Relic levels than you know, waiting and finishing out Krrsantan. So we'll have to see. What I might do, depending on how things go, I might do some kind of split where I'm farming Krrsantan like 4 or 5 days a week, and then I'll farm enough signal data to make sure that my next Relic can at least get started. So I may have some more insight into that in the next week as I farm it and see how it goes. Second tier projects for this account, we're still planning to put 1 Cairo on a character every week, and that's 1 Cairo that's not part of a Relic. With the speed at which we're relicking characters now, getting that extra Cairo material has proven quite challenging. And I think if I look at my Cairo status this week, I can afford 1 Cairo, and then I'll have like 1 Cairo left in the bank. I think I have like 51 or 52 of the shock prods right now. So I'm barely able to keep up with that rate, but it's a good challenge, and it forces me to stay on track with the Kairos. We're beelining for Jabba. We're not going to take any more distractions until we get Jabba locked in the account. And then we're going to look at, you know, the Genernet Revan team and some other stuff, and we'll figure things out over there. Still working on the Sith Triumvirate in the background, the Orsing Bounty Hunter team, Gas, Inquisitors, so there's some stuff like that I'm putting gear on in the background. That's going to wrap up the presentation part of the update. Let me go over here and check and see who we got in chat and what's going on over there. All right. We got Graham Case in the house. Beskar Bandito says hello. Storm Pooper's here. Hey, man. Andre Passati says, let's go. David Dutrow says, finished the last of my proving grounds today. Life is good. Nice. Shrubbery says it's time to rise. Awesome. Darth Loquitur says, I'm dressed like a cowboy today. Boots, hats, chaps, and spurs, but I got a minute and 30 to change. Luckily, I was able to change out of my cowboy outfit before the stream started, so you guys didn't have to look at that. Somebody said, Graham Case says, you're relicking things like a beast. I'm over here wondering if I should relic my Bastila Fallen, or should I save those materials for Revan, Malak, or Grand Inquisitor? TK and Arva are here. And then somebody says, a heretic says, you got to have a plan and stick to it, who you're relicking, and it's easy to stick to the plan once you've made it. Yeah, so with relicking characters, I'd have to be pretty far along before I'd ever be saving relic materials and just camping on them. There's always a journey I'm on, there's something I'm doing, and as Heretic points out, if you've got a plan and you're working the plan, then it's not too hard to move from relic to relic and keep going on them. But if you have a character's worth of relic materials and it's a character that you do plan to relic, then relic it, you know. Otherwise, make a plan for Bastila Shan Fallen. If you're building the Darth Revan team, see, to me, if I was going to build, let's say, Darth Revan, Malak, Bastila Fallen, all that stuff for the Revan team, I would definitely relic Bastila Shan as soon as I was ready, because I'm going to relic all those characters anyway, and it doesn't really matter that much if I relic Bastila first or third or whatever. And also, she's the one that people target the most in the lineup, so taking her to relic first makes a lot of sense. If you got the materials, I'd say just go for it. Now, if you're not sure if you're building the Darth Revan team or something else, then exactly as Heretic says, you gotta get that plan locked down so you know who the relics are going on, and then apply the materials. Doesn't do you any good sitting in the bank. All right. So TK says his son just finished the school season for baseball, and the first practice for summer ball is on Tuesday. All right. Well, you guys have fun with that. That's awesome. Love that. Graham Case says he has a plan, but Bastila was a necessary character to get Revan and is used on his team. Yeah, exactly. I have my Inquisitors ready for the GI event, but just waiting for the event to come back. Well, I wouldn't... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so if you're just waiting for the event to come back, should you save the materials for Grand Inquisitor? Yeah, probably. Probably in that case, because, well, when does that event come back up? I don't know the event timings, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I'd probably just spend them. I would. I would have such a hard time. Yeah, I don't subscribe to saving the materials until you get the character. So if that event is coming up like next week or something, then yes, absolutely save them. If it's not coming up within the next week, then just put them on Bastila, and then like right before the event, just collect up the materials you need. You know what they are. You can look them up. So recollect them. But yeah, if it's coming up short term, then save them. Jar Jar says, how are you finding Cairo farming? I mean, it's normal, right? You just go in the node and you farm. I'm not bothered by it. The fact that I can get all of the other materials somewhere else now, it's fine by me. I don't mind farming Cairo all the time. And farming Cairo all the time helps me with the bronzium wiring issue. So, I mean, all in all, happily farming Cairos. I have cut back my hard farms on both accounts, though, because everything's going so much faster. It's not that we need more Cairo. And I said this in a prior episode, and it's still true. We don't need more Cairo now. We're just going faster, so the amount of Cairo that we get is always going to be in short supply. So it's the fact that we can just outrun it. So I've cut back my hard farms. I've gone back to 3 standard hard farms on each account, and I'm using all that energy every day. And if you like, I was doing 6 hard farms that way. Now I'm doing 3. So the difference is, let's say 250 energy per day extra that I'm spending on Cairo over the course of a whole week. That adds up to a lot of, maybe even if it's only like 15 extra Cairo pieces with that energy. No, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be 3 times that, right? So that's going to be about 45 extra Cairo pieces that I wouldn't have if I kept doing all those hard farms. So it's something to think about, something to balance out for your own account. You got to figure it out. But yeah, I'm doing tons of Cairo farming. All right. Noah Holmes says, what's the best lineup for Executor defense? There's 2 lineups that work. The lineup with Houndstooth, Razor Crest, and Xanadu Blood is pretty standard. The lineup with the 3 attackers where you swap out Houndstooth and you put in the IG 2000. Don't do that unless you have a... basically, unless you're willing to Relic 9 Piet and you have a 7-star Executor. Because the key to that 3 attacker fleet is you have to go first and you have to hit hard. If you're coin flipping for first because you've got a Relic 8 Piet just like everybody else, then yeah, it's the leg up on defense for that. You got to get your Piet to Relic 9 and be willing to invest in those 3 attackers. Xanadu Blood, I would say, would need to be above Relic 5. But again, if you've got a 7-star Executor, a Relic 9 Piet, and you're willing to put extra into the Xanadu Blood, into Cad Bane, then that lineup is pretty devastating. That holds on defense, in my opinion, better than like in Grand Arena. I think that's a more dangerous defense than putting the Houndstooth in there. Though I think the 3 attacker that may not be true anymore, because maybe somebody can tell me this if they play at high levels of Grand Arena. But if your opponent has the Empire fleet with the TIE Interceptor and Defender on offense, I think the 3 attacker version is more susceptible to the Empire fleet, right? So yeah, maybe that's better. But anyway, moral of the story, what I would say, don't go for the 3 attacker fleet unless you're really willing to commit to your Piet. That's my experience. Because I've had that before where people put the 3 attackers on defense. And, I mean, if it's just a normal Piet, you just kind of walk through it. If it's a Relic 9 Piet and you don't have a Relic 9 Piet, it's trouble. All right. Joseph Adams says, I'm on a roll. I caught 3 live streams now. Nice. Salam Burleson says, finished up your Mob Enforcer today. Only have Jabba left to ticket grind. Nice. If you had to guess when the next GL will be announced, what would you say? Any guesses as to who you think it will be? I'm debating on hoarding gear and going for it early when it eventually drops. So if you look at Krrsantan and, Bouchelet and all that stuff, you had a series of characters that were introduced that didn't have a payoff. So right now, if you look at the series of characters that were introduced, you've got the whole Cal Kestis thing with a payoff at the end. So it's a mini journey like the Starkiller journey or Afra journey or something like that, right? So I don't think the current round of characters is meant for the next Galactic Legend. If it is, then we should expect the Galactic Legend announcement within the next month or 2. But I think that this round of characters is, a standalone group, at least for now. And then I think the next round of characters that start coming out in marquees will be for the next Galactic Legend. And we'll start speculating based on what we see. I feel like with the timing of the Ahsoka show and all that stuff, what I want, I guess what I'm hoping for, is that they'll make Galactic Legend Ahsoka and a Galactic Legend Thrawn. And we'll get both of those characters out of the new series. Because I think enough people like Ahsoka and have been following her character arc for long enough, and I think a lot of people like Thrawn. Thrawn is fantastic character. Like, if you imagine Thrawn as he's meant to be, as this, like, he's Moriarty basically, right? I don't know why, but whenever I think of Thrawn, I think of like Moriarty, the guy who's the villain in Sherlock Holmes, who, if you read the original Sherlock Holmes stuff, Moriarty's basically smarter than Sherlock Holmes and better at planning, better chess player in some sense. And, Holmes has to try to get the better of him. But yeah, so Thrawn reminds me of Moriarty in that, debate good and evil and villain and whatever you want. It's just like this super genius guy who does things that are to his own benefit, so to speak. I don't know. I love Thrawn. I like Thrawn's character. I like the idea of Thrawn. All right. Graham Case says, we don't know when the Grand Inquisitor event comes back, but hopefully the end of next month. I'll be finishing my last Inquisitor in the coming days, maybe even tonight, says Dank Ideals. Nice. Jar Jar says, I'm stuck on the Cairo Crunch now with the new changes. And other than new content, that's all I farm. I don't get as many Kairos as before. Oxlane says, we always needed Kairos, right? Yeah, you always needed Kairos, and before you weren't relicing characters as fast. So now the characters are, let's say, easier to relic, the Kairos search feels even more desperate and frenzied. Okay. I think Grand Inquisitor will stay in the Journey Guide next time he comes. So TK predicts that the next event will be just moving the Inquisitors to the Journey Guide. I think they should do that. I think it should just be in the Journey Guide. Having to wait for the event to come up is just kind of... I don't understand it. It's like waiting 10 minutes between battles in Fleet Arena. I don't understand it. I don't know why it's relevant. It doesn't help. It doesn't stop people from doing anything. It just annoys you when you have to wait another 8 minutes to play your next battle. So, yeah. Okay. Brady says, good day for the old account. Unlock Jabba and Cat. Thanks for the great advice and ideas along the way, Loquitter. Hey, you're welcome, man. Roy Mercer says, DL, I'm in dire need of help. I cannot beat Tier 6 of the Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker journey. I followed the best guides, and my modding beats theirs by far, hundreds of attempts. So, Roy, I think if you're talking about the Vader event, somebody pointed out to me that the damage over times from Vader, once you get a couple of them on you, the event is completely unmanageable. So if you mod your CLS completely for tenacity, you just go hardcore tenacity all the way, like put your Enfys Nest style mods on him so that Vader can't land any of the damage over times. The event was easy. I did it like first try. So yeah, get that. Try the tenacity modding. That's what worked for me. All right. Arva agrees that Thrawn is great. Andrew McCauley says Thrawn was one of my favorite characters in Rebels. Right? When you're cheering, you know it's a good character when you're cheering for the villain. Moriarty is just terrifying when you really think about it, says Oxlane. Exactly, right? Exactly. He's a good villain. He was just a fantastic villain. I think Satili Shan for a Galactic Legend would be awesome for the Old Republic. Is that a little bit too esoteric? I mean, you want Galactic Legends to be so mainstream that everybody knows who they are. Does everybody have a connection to Satili Shan? Because when I think of that, it's like, I don't know. I don't think of it as a Galactic Legend character that I'm interested in. They got to sell. They got to sell. So they got to have a Galactic Legend that's going to be a character that people want. I think Ahsoka and Thrawn are both characters that people want. They're names that people recognize and like. All right, we got to get on with the count updates here. Let's go. Thank you all for chatting. Love you guys. I love all the conversation. It's so fun. All right, we're going to go with Fennec Shand first. We've got both her and Aurra ready to go. Let's upgrade Fennec here. I think I got a good clean Relic 7 on her. Then I don't know if I'm going to make it to Relic 6 on Aurra. I think we got to do Relic 6 on Aurra, right? So I think we're set up here. I tell you, with this new guild system, raid system, my guild got some new players, and sort of out of, you know, respect and thanks for them joining, we had a wait period so that they could join the next raid, and they waited 2 days. And 2 days is almost a whole raid cycle, and you miss that, and you feel it. It feels like such a big deal. Just that couple days where we didn't get a raid cashed in. All right, so here we go. Relic 7 on Fennec. All right, and that should get us the completion tag. Yep, there it comes, lights up. All right, so Fennec Shan, we're good with you. The Fennec's mods are really mediocre, but I can't. That's another thing with characters coming along so fast now. The the ability to actually mod these characters is also a struggle now for Obticeo. Having, you know, only been in the game for like not even a year and a half now, the amount of mods that I have is you know, a certain pool. But yeah, I have relic characters now who have leftover mods because I'm relicking them so fast that I don't have time to build up the mod inventory. Okay, this next click is going to be the question mark, because I'm not sure that we have enough. I think green signal data is where we're going to run out. Look at this, guys. One short. One short. Come on. We can get one, right? There we go. All right. But look at these materials now, man. My lineup of gear here. Okay, we got the quest completion. My lineup of gear down here. Only 20 of these. Only 22 of these. Woo! It feels like I'm broke now. Obticeo had been, you know, building up a decent bank of the carbonite and bronzium, and we're headed for zero in a hurry. All right, but now we got to go take a look, because this journey is journey's crazy, right? Look at this. Look at this journey, guys. We only got 4 characters left to go, and we got Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Huttata. We got here that we got to do. He'll be our next relic. At the pace that we're relicking, we should be done with him and halfway through the Gammo Guard next week. So let's see what we need. We need to apply our Cairo. That's the next thing that we need to do, right? We need to find wherever our Cairo needs to go and apply it. So we're up to 20 million again. My target is to be around 20 million every week. So I made enough purchases to get to 19 million. So we'll take him to level 85 finally. Is there another Cairo on him? Nope, just stuff. Okay, so we'll go ahead and gear him up. And then we're going to apply 1 Cairo to him. There it is. We've applied our +1 Cairo for the week. He's got another Cairo here. So we'll be able to get him a level again next week, I hope. The Jawa is not available to upgrade. So I've run out of something. Let's go ahead and apply. Okay, it's the golden eyeballs. Yep, we'll have to buy some of those. Oh boy, buying them here is not such a bad deal. Buying them for crystals is still a pretty good deal. I'm very tempted to just buy them for crystals because it's good, but I need all of my refreshes. I can't waste crystals on anything but Cantina refreshes right now. So we'll just have to wait till next week for that. I can lock down some of these other gear pieces, because why not? We want to see what we're low on, if we're low on anything. Okay, so it's really just that golden eyeball. Let's go do the same for Krrsantan. We'll lock down all the other pieces we can before we put anything into anyone else. Equip that. And equip this. Leaving just that Cairo for next week. We can upgrade his skills. Old habits die hard. I find that I just can't click the button for these Omegas until I'm actually finishing out the character. If the leader's hut cartel gain protection up, recover health. Oh man. That's probably worth an Omega, huh? Okay, so let's look at this one. If all allies were hut cartel, increase the target enemy's cooldowns. If he's taunting, ability block, he gains 50% max health? Wait, what? Okay, well, that's good enough for an Omega for sure. We'll put the skills on his leadership because, you know, free galactic power. Why not? And gain offense, stacking for 2 turns. It's only 3 Omegas. We're not going to do it. I don't know how often we're ever going to use him as leader, so we'll take the free galactic power and leave it otherwise. Okay. Dismember no longer starts on cooldown. Its cooldown is reset at each encounter. That's probably good. We'll get that later. We'll activate his payout. Okay, so Krrsantan is somewhat usable now. We'll use him as our mod character for this week when we do mods. And we'll put mods on him. Okay. Let's see. The Outrider. We got the Outrider done, so that's no problem. Alright, so we still got the Gamorrean Guard that we can put a relic on. We'll get Jabba to gear 12 next week. We'll get Krrsantan to level next week. Hopefully. So, 1 week. Then probably both of these in 2 weeks. 3. And then 4 weeks probably. Probably 4 weeks to Jabba. If I can farm up enough Krrsantan shards and keep signal data and everything else balanced. We still need quite a few Krrsantan shards. Okay. We'll go to our tier 2 stuff. Take a look at this. I burned through all that gear, locked it down so I wouldn't lose gear. Gas is definitely on the table now, guys. With the changes to gas, I think we'll get set up so that, like, as soon as we're done with our Jabba journey, we'll be able to grab gas. Golden eyeballs everywhere. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of those. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. Mark V detonators, too. I've been out of those a lot lately. They're not cheap out of the guild store. They're the 22 cost per, so it's not that great of a value. They're a pretty good value here, 28 each. So we'll buy them here. We'll probably have to start buying them out of the guild store too, just because I can't get them fast enough somewhere else. All right, but we've got, you know, once we get the journey characters locked down, we'll get more work on that. We could theoretically work on the Tuscans a little bit more. Let's see, who can we take to level 85? Tuscan Shaman. Yeah, I don't think I really want to work on them. Let's see what these what these characters need here. This is all easy gear. Mark III projectors. We got plenty of those now. I've been buying the heck out of these Mark III projectors out of the new guild store. Okay, already Cairo. Look at that. Cairo to go to gear 9. Ugly. Alright, well, that's all I'm going to do there. Let's look at Droideka. We can take an upgrade here. We've got some stun cuffs to spare. We've got carbantes to spare. Stun gun. It's not too bad. We'll take it. And then, alright. So we're just on normal gear needs now. Mandalorian probably needs golden eyeballs too, huh? Yep, and Cairo. Yeah, if we get a free week where we have Cairo, we might want to invest over here. Once we get the journey done. Well, you know what I should do going forward? When I'm going to invest my Cairo for the week, we can just pick a Cairo and look at every single character that needs Cairo and make a decision on which character is the best one to Cairo. Watt needs Cairo? Huh. Well, there you go. Yeah. It'll be a long time before we Cairo Watt. It'll be a long time before we get Cat. Interesting. Yeah, so these three, I mean, they're on my favorites list, right? So they show up first. So we can select which ones. Of course, the Gear 12s all need Cairo to go to Relic. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for these characters. Interesting. Okay. We'll go out to characters and see if there's anything more here that just looks like something that we want to hit upgrade on. Without any golden eyeballs, doesn't seem like there's going to be much opportunity for us. I remember back in the day, you would never click these buttons. I wouldn't mind getting Kylo up and running. I think I'm going to put him on my favorites to keep an eye on. Stun guns, what am I out of? Comlinks. So what prevents me from being able to upgrade him? Oh, not enough. Not enough. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lock down a stun gun here. I'm going to lock down a Carbante here. And we're going to put him... We're going to start gearing him up. Because he can kill some Old Republic stuff. He can do things. He might be one of the characters that I just, like, get an extra relic. Because I could just, like, relic to him or something like that and make a solo team for Grand Arena. I have a feeling we're going to have some opportunities in the future to get a character to relic. But if you just take him to Gear 13, Relic 1 doesn't even take signal. Which way is it? Does it just take carbonite circuit boards, or does it just take signal data? I can't remember, but if you go to Relic 1, it's super cheap. So I could like Gear 13 and Relic 1 things like Kylo, Zam, characters like that I want at Relic for the speed and durability and all the stuff that Relicing brings, but don't have to invest all kinds of signal data and bronzium wiring into to get value. Queel would be another good one to put it like Relic 1. Now that the pit rate is gone, you don't have to Relic 5 everything anymore. Alright, I think that's about all I can do for this week. So we'll pick Krrsantan and we'll go in and we'll start looking toward mods. See what we're going to do for mods. We got a lot of chat to catch up on by now, I'm sure. So let's do this. And then we'll go catch up on chat for a second. All right. You still need to Relic 7 C3PO. I do? I didn't? Let me go look at that. That's a good catch, because I think you're right. I think I may... Gamorrean Guard, C3PO to Relic 7. Yeah, okay. We don't have the signal data for it, but yeah, so we'll have to do that. Where do I think, is he at 5 or 6? Where is he now? He's at 5. Okay, so let's put him on favorites, bump him back up on favorites, so that we will remember to go back and Relic 7 him. That's a good catch. Okay. What else we got on chat over here? All right. Let's see if we can catch up fast. I'm not going to read everybody's stuff here. Just Another Consumer says he's holding off on Krrsantan until he doubles. Yeah, I want to too, but I feel like I can't wait for Jabba. I want him in the account. I don't want to wait another, 5 weeks to start ticket farming. All right. It's the one with Leo, Lando, and Chupio. Ah, okay. Sorry, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, you can go back and watch my stream where I messed around with it, and you can see if there's anything I did that maybe you could do that would get you through that. But that's a super RNG fest. And, winning it came down to having Chupio get an area effect off just at the right time, kill a bunch of people, and then, be able to finish out the battle. So it was some kind of luck. Some kind of luck there. Satili is probably the most recognizable character on the light side from Star Wars The Old Republic. Oxlane says, I don't think we'll see an Old Republic now. It had to be either Revan or Malgus, and they've all been released. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I'm not saying it won't be, but again, making a galactic legend out of video game characters seems a lot less likely than making galactic legends out of things that are at least, on Disney Plus that you can watch. So that's how I see it. The video games have a certain, penetration depth in the market, but the TV shows and movies have far, far greater market penetration, name recognition. Arva says, still hope for the neutral galactic legend, Revan, who's both a Jedi and a Sith. Right, well, like when he's on the beach making his big choice. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Nisus says, Roy, I just tried that tier again, and I don't remember even doing it. Revan redeemed would be awesome. All right. Is the Boosh Omicron worth it? Yeah, of course. I mean, so let's say if you want to get Jabba the Hutt going, and you want 2.7 million, you can do it without the Omicron. But if you do the Omicron, then you can drop a character and save another character to use in a different team for Crate Raid. So is one Omicron worth having a character to put in another team? I think for the cost of one Omicron, that's pretty good. And I don't know if they're still refunding the 10 Omicrons, but when they first came out with the Crate Raid, they were giving you 10 Omicrons back. So it was a half cost Omicron, and at half cost, that's good. Arva says it's not worth it. Yeah, I think I haven't seen that the Jabba team can format it if Boosh Leia doesn't have the Omicron. If that's the case, then maybe the Omicron is completely useless. But yeah, to me, it's the cost of one Omicron versus freeing up a character for another team. Galactic Legend Leia was discussed. A Rebel GL would be nice. Yeah, because we've got a lot of Jedi. We've got Luke. We've got, stuff, but we don't actually have a Rebel, just a Rebel tag Jedi. Maybe they could do the new Mon Mothma from the latest, latest, what would be the newest thing with her? Cassian, the Andor show, I guess, with Mon Mothma as a little more advanced version of Mon Mothma. I don't know. There's a lot of rebels who I think are not cool enough to be Galactic Legends. I'm not a fan of rebels. It's incredible after all this time in the game, like the rebel faction itself. I like, if you asked me to name off my favorite factions, rebels would not be among my favorite factions, because they messed it up, right? And even if you hate the sequels, like, they take over, they overthrow the Empire, and then they can't hold on to it, and things just go back to being bad. I mean, that's the story. The rebels failed. So I can't quite get that out of my mind. Like, all that rebellion, and it didn't work. It didn't fix anything. So, that's funny. TK asks if Fennec needs the Zeta for the Lord Vader counter. And Arva says it definitely helps. You don't always get the benefit of it while fighting Lord Vader. Sometimes you do. Every bit of damage helps. TK says, I'm like 4 gear pieces to Jabba. Nice. Krrsantan at single drop seems like such a waste when he's doubling fairly soon. I agree, but again, it's another 5 weeks of Grand Arena play that I can get. It's another 10 rounds of Crate Dragon Raid where I'll have higher participation. So if you just pull it forward, the amount extra of Cantina that I spend farming him, I think pays back in the amount of extra income that I'm going to get in that 5-week gap that I would normally have. Because, well, it's even more than 5 weeks. Because if I waited 5 weeks for him to be double dropped, then I would still have to farm him up and still have to relic him. So you're still looking at 6 or maybe even 7 weeks. And I just feel like that's it's too much time. I'm going to wait on the Loquitur account. I have enough space to wait over there, but not on Obticeo. Sorry for the question, but which piece exactly are Cairo? I'm new to the game, and I've heard so much about them without knowing exactly which piece is which. So Cairos, you need 2 pieces to put a Cairo on a character. One is this shock prod piece. So that's like, let's say, 1/2 of a Cairo. And then there's only 2 pieces of gear. I believe there's only 2 pieces of gear with the name Kyrotech. If I'm mistaken, somebody let me know, but it's that piece, and then the other half is this computer. So the node that you use to farm the computer is kind of a dud of a node. Like, the other pieces of gear that you get off of here are not that great. So you can get the computers, but the extra stuff that you get with the computers is really kind of lame. So you want to farm the node with the shock prod all the time, because the shock prod node gives you other good pieces, and especially this Mark V piece converts for a nice amount of bronzium wiring. And bronzium wiring is also something that you're going to need a lot of. So I always farm this Kyrotech shock prod, and I always buy all the computers from the Grand Arena store and the Guild Event store. That's my method. I'm sticking to it. Is Obticeo closer to Jabba than Loquitur? Yes. Absolutely. And that's because I just beelined for Jabba. I have no Galactic Legend, so I need to get a Galactic Legend ASAP on Obticeo. Whereas over on Loquitur, I decided to do the Jedi Knight Luke team, the Fennec team. I decided to build out some of the teams that you can get along the way to the Jabba. So I've taken some detours over there. So yeah, Obticeo is closer. Oh man. Tons of chat here. Tobias said my alliance did a reshuffle and he missed 5 to 7 days of crate reward. Yeah, I definitely feel it. Arva says I also hate myself. I'm about to ask people to farm Cal Kestis, but I don't want to do a Cantina farm myself. Yep. All right. Arva says it's fun. I feel like early game again where I'm limited by shards and not by gear. Not even Kairos are a big problem for Arva. Yeah, well, when you get like almost everything in the game farmed up and geared, you don't have as much problem with that. Kairos are still a menace for mid-game. For sure. Kylo is great for GAC, even before you get SLKR, Solos, Old Republic, Ewoks, etc. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Anyone have tips to beat Razor Crest Proving Grounds with C without Watt? Oh man, I don't even remember what's in there. All right. Skip some of these chats. Nicest says the rebels are even idiots in the old EU. They're just not that bad. Tobias says Kat isn't a GL, and Roy Mercer says yes, she is. I know Roy's kidding, but yeah. So I've heard people say that in the Jedi Master Kenobi composition, Kat's the actual GL and JMK is the lifter. And when you play the team, it does kind of feel like that. It does kind of feel like that. Jar Jar says Jabba is the easiest unlock of all the GLs. Huh? Jedi Knight Luke is no joke. Rey and SLKR and C. C and SLKR are the easiest unlocks, honestly. Rey is the third. But yeah, Jabba needing Jedi Knight Luke makes him a really challenging. Or you mean just as far as the... Do you mean as far as farming the tokens and actually completing the events? If that's what you mean, then never mind. I thought you... I get what you're saying. He's the easiest unlock. Tobias says, being good doesn't make you a GL. You don't need to build relic requirements to get Cat. Yeah. Arva takes the other side. Cat's not a GL. She's good, but she's only supporting a GL. She doesn't make the team JMK does. And a catless JMK is still better than a JMK-less cat. But you also can put a cat into a Rey team, and it does some pretty fantastic things. Ying says hi. All right. What's the best Datacron 6 set for Inquisitors? Oh, wow. Who knows? Rey takes a while thanks to ship. Radish requirements suck to farm. Drake, you don't ever buy the Radish ship. When the Radish event is going on in the events, there'll be shipment that pops up here in the store where you can buy Radish shards, 50 crystals for 10 shards. And you just buy 150 shards and put the Radish capital ship at 5 stars, and you never build any resistance fleet. That's the way to do it. Just a waste of resources to build those ships, and those you're gonna relic the characters that pilot them, but the amount of resources you have to spend on that fleet, and it's never good enough to justify the cost of the resources. So just buy it out of the shop. If you do 2 purchases every time it comes up, it's 2,500 crystals a month. You do that for about 4 months. Comes up twice a month for 4 months is 8. That's pretty good math, right? So that put you 160 shards. So yeah, if you do that every time it comes up for 4 months, you'll have the ship for crystal cost. Arva says Cat does nothing for Rey. All right. Getting into another argument with Arva. Arva feels the need to be correct. Still have to figure out some way to communicate that there's different opinions, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a matter of right and wrong. I've played a Rey team. I've played Cat in a Rey team, and Cat makes a noticeable difference in what Rey can do. And some of the teams that can beat Rey Certainly can't stand up to Rey if Cat is still alive when she does the ult, and you've got her modded to hit hard, and you add Cat on top of that. Things like Sith Eternal really no longer viable because she will one-shot a Sith Eternal with one ult, no matter how good the Sith Eternal is. So there are things that it does. I agree that it's much better on offense where you can control it. But I will not agree that Cat with Rey does nothing. Because I've seen it do things. I've made it do things myself. That's not the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, it's not the difference like with JMK and Cat. It's not bad. She's also pretty cool, like in a Padme team. There's other places she can go. All right, let's get these mods worked on, and then we will wrap it up. All right, let's try to sell some bad stats here. Defense with health, that's actually not bad. I think I might leave that one. Just see where it goes. Defense with a potency. Defense with defense. Again, I just might see where that goes. If it rolls speed, might be interested in it. All right, sell the rest of these off. Agreeing they're bad stats. Let's do the gray mods. Oops. We gotta do grays. We gotta do this filter first. Select everybody, put them at 6. Then we'll kick out the crit damage mods. Sell off everything that didn't hit speed. Go back to the normal filter. We got 4 crit damage mods that didn't hit speed. Well, let's see if we can get speed on any of them. The answer is nope. Nothing. And I don't think any of those are good enough to justify keeping, so off they go. All right, let's see what we've got here for the gray mod pool. Protection, offense, potency. Probably not going to slice that. A potency mod with an offense main stat that didn't hit potency. I don't know. We can see where it goes. I'm not going to slice it. I'm not going to pick it for slicing. Yeah, let's just get rid of it. And that way we don't waste the money upgrading to 12. All right. Then we can go out here. Again, my method for working on 5-dot gray mods, I'll slice them once. If they hit speed, I'll stay interested. This is a potency mod with no potency substat. It's got 9 speed. I'm willing to take a risk taking it to blue, but if it doesn't hit speed going to blue, then I won't hit going to purple. Okay. And we'll just leave it there and we'll use it on some off-brand character. But if I continue to hit speed, then I'd continue to be interested. This one, I missed the speed roll, so we're just done with it. We leave it at green. And that means that we're not wasting valuable slicing resources here on mods with a increasingly lower likelihood of turning out to be something special. All right, we missed speed again. Been a rough week for modding. I didn't hit a single gray mod on my locator account, and we're not doing so great over here either. This has got a bunch of percent stats, so I'll take a poke at it. Miss again. Statistically unlikely. All right, we got nothing. Big fat stack of nothing out of all the possible gray mods. All right, let's move on to the blues and greens. Select everything, upgrade to 6. Then we'll pick the ones that didn't get speed, and we'll unload them. We'll look for any critical damage greens that might still entertain us. Crit chance, health. Let's sell those off. Slicing, we'll take these. We'll upgrade them all to 12. Go back out. See if we got any new ones worth slicing. This is new. 12 speed on 3 rolls. 11 speed on 2 rolls. That's worth taking to purple. We'll take that to purple, see what we get. If we hit speed, we're still interested. Otherwise, we're not. Alright, we're not interested. This is new. 10 speed offense. A potency mod without a potency main stat is kind of sus, but we'll take it to blue. If it hits on speed, it can be a speed mod. I don't know, it's not horrible. Offense is still an okay stat. Maybe on somebody like Vader. I don't know. I don't know. Take it to purple. Yeah, we'll poke it. We'll poke it one more time. Miss again. Alright, fine. These are already worked on. Anything below here is not going to be good. Alright. Increasingly looks like it's going to be a mediocre week for mods here. Let's put these at 3. Then we'll look for all the gold and purple with no speed. Get rid of them. Use our filter for these mods. Select them all. Put them all at 12. Okay. Now we'll look at the slicing. See if there's anything here that we roll. Oop, this looks good. Potency mod with a potency main stat and 16 speed. That's pretty fantastic. We're going to take that all the way to 6. 6 dots. We'll slice it twice if we don't hit speed. We'll invest in a calibration. Calibrate out of defense. Try to get that 4th speed roll. If we hit the 4th speed roll, we're interested. Otherwise, we're not. Yeah, so we're just going to kind of... Unfortunate. Unfortunate. This mod had the potential to be good, but no more investments there. All right. Yep, that's it. That's all we got to work on. Still, 30 potency mod with 17 speed isn't all horrible. Let's look at the 6-dot slicing macro. Let's sell off the 1 speed mods here. See if there's anything inspiring us to keep any of this stuff. Crit chance. This crit damage one we'll probably work on someday. Offense, no potency. Crit damage. Crit damage 4 speed purple. Yeah, I don't see anything here that's inspiring, so we'll sell off all the stuff that we don't have locked. And then we'll look real quick at 6-dot slicing and see if there's anything here that we're really interested in going for. 20 speed mod here on Greedo. That wouldn't be bad to get a hit. 36 defense, we'll calibrate. See if we can get our 5th roll here. Goes to offense, we'll take that. We have one more calibration, but I don't think this mod is going to get the 2nd calibration. I think we're done there. All right, Thrawn's mod, 19 speed on 4 rolls. All right, 17 speed on 3 rolls. 17 on 4. 18 on 3. 18 on 3. Man, this could be such a good mod. Let's take it to purple. All right. 23 speed. And we can theoretically... We've already calibrated this once. We can calibrate it again. If we hit 6 speed, that'd be a 29 speed mod. I don't know. I really don't want to hit it, but at the same time, having that... Oh, goodness. Then we got crit chance. I don't know. I don't know. All right, 23 speed, though. Still good. Still good. Wampa's getting fast. All right. So then in order to mod Krrsantan himself, we'll put up a mod filter. And we just want health or defense, right? Do we want tenacity for any reason on this guy? I feel like it's just straight health and defense. All right. I don't know. I think we're just going to go with all defense sets on him if I can pull it out. Don't even have a defense set here. Look at this. Garbage. All right, let's do that. I haven't farmed defense mods in a while because I've been farming potency mods. Like all the stuff that I want to do for the crate raid, they want potency. Gotta have potency on all these characters. This is some tenacity. This is potency with health. This is potency with health. We just want health with health. Protection with health, that's fine. I don't think we really care about his speed that much right now. Offense with defense. I think we want some kind of health here, right? Defense with crit damage. Protection. Just got a lot of offensive stuff in the bank. A lot of offense stats. And we have health on a crit chance. Protection on crit damage. I don't know, I guess we can just put this one on him because it's already built. And then we'll just throw something on that's got speed. It's got health, protection, flat defense. Alright, fine. So we just put a little armor and health on him. That's not ideal, but you know. And eventually we'll want like a defense arrow with a health main stat and speed substat. Something like that would be fantastic. That's a long way off. Alright. Good enough for now. Training wheels mods. Again, I'm building characters faster than I can possibly build mods for them. And this week was pretty lackluster. We only got a couple good mods. Maybe I'll need to farm defense mods here for a little while. Having none of them in inventory is not a good feeling. We got some good potency mods the last few weeks though, so satisfied with that. Alright, and then we can look at datacrons. Got some datacrons here we can work on. This one's level 2. It's got crit avoidance and crit chance. I don't know. Is that worth continuing with? I suppose. Let's see if we can get something a little better though. Probably get health steal again. Everything in the world has health steal on it. Accuracy, crit avoidance. These are just not fantastic. Dark side allies, 2 buffs that can be dispelled. They get bonuses. Alright, let's get some extra stats here. More accuracy. What do we need accuracy for? I guess if we're fighting against the... Oh, we got crit damage. Got crit damage. At least that's a functional stat for us, right? Separatists have full health and protection. They deal 100% more damage. Alright. We can use that. Let's just keep going, see if we can get more crit damage. We got more crit chance. Got more crit chance. I don't know. We don't have Dooku or Poggle or Trench or anybody like that. We don't have Django. We don't have any of these guys on this account, so Probably not even worth taking to 9. All right, let's start another one, see how far we can get. Unlock another datacron here. More accuracy. Boy, love that accuracy. Crit damage. We'll take that. Alright, dark side allies with 2 buffs to dispel. Again, same thing, right? 2 buffs to be dispelled. Crit avoidance. Health steal. Do we need more faction? I don't think that... I don't need the faction mechanic, but I can't unlock the higher stats until I do. First time separatists fall below. Do we really want to re-roll this? I guess. I mean, I can't use this on geos or anything, right? So, like, I really have, like, no characters that can even make use of it. And I'm out of money. All right. So, we're out of currency. Let's dismantle a couple of these. We're not going to build them anyway. We'll leave 1 0 just in case, right? Who knows? Dismantle those. Get them unmantled. We'll lose the Chupio datacron coming up here soon. That's going to be sad. That was a nice datacron for the account. All right, catching up on chat. So, Arva says that on defense, Ray with Cat. We already read that. Arva says that C gets shut down on the Ben solo already. Comparatively, Cat doesn't add a thing to Ray that other characters wouldn't add to her. All right, man. You have an opinion. Does anyone have a recommendation on Cat May setup? The value in a Padme team is that you can build the Padme team with Cat that can beat Jedi Master Kenobi. So, in my opinion, if you're going to use Cat on a Padme team, then you do that. And that team has about a 16% chance to lose on the first turn if you get just the wrong ability on just the wrong character. But basically, you have to put Cat on the team. You have to time the team exactly right so that she turn meter swaps with Ahsoka. Everybody gets their turns. You do the kick with Padme. You can get exactly enough instances of assist with Xian that Cat will have we'll have the insta-kill cooled down, and if you use C-3PO to put the buff immunity onto Kenobi, then you basically use your Cat to kill their Cat. They use their Cat to kill your Kenobi if they're faster. Because remember, you've swapped with Ahsoka and you're on her initiative, so typically the other Cat's faster, they'll kill your Kenobi, but then you put the buff immunity on their Kenobi, use your Cat to kill their Cat, and you can work it out from there with Padme. That's the team I would definitely recommend. So it's Padme, General Kenobi, Little Ahsoka, Cat, and C-3PO. Arva says Cat adds offense and health, raised protection up scales with health, and her alt scales off offense. The problem is that Starkiller in GAC still beats her regardless. So would JML. Yeah, but we're talking apples and oranges, man. I already acknowledged that you need to take it on offense so you can control the matchup. I mean, any character that you put on defense, you can always say, I would put this on defense, and there's always a team that beats it. There is no team in Grand Arena right now that you put on defense and no team can beat it, right? There's no unbeatable team. So by that logic, anything that you put on defense can always be beat. So yeah, putting it on defense and letting it get beat by Starkiller is not, that's not doing something with Cat with Rey. That's throwing away your Cat and your Rey on defense against the team that can beat it. Now, on the other hand, if you have a certain setup on defense where you say, okay, I'm going to put Rey on defense, and I know that he's going to use his Star Killer to kill it. Okay, then you know exactly where Star Killer is going to be used. Or if you scout your opponent and he always puts Star Killer on defense, then Cat gains value on defense. So just blindly saying I'd put Cat with Rey and throw her on defense and get it beat, that's not the discussion. And trust me when I say that piloting a Rey team with Cat in Conquest is better than piloting a Rey team without Cat in Conquest. Use that as your example and tell me that she does nothing. She does something. She helps. Open your mind. Life is not all about GAC. GAC is just a thing people do in the background now. It's not a real game mode anymore. After the first accuracy roll, that datacron was dead to me. Yeah, fair enough. But I have so limited resources. If I keep restarting datacrons at the low level, that I never get high level datacrons because I run out of the low level materials. I don't have the refreshes to sit there and farm like the first or second node in Conquest over and over to get materials on this account. I can't even afford to get my Cantina refreshes every day, so I can't be wasting Cantina refreshes on datacron materials that are just going to go away in the future anyway. So yeah, that's the problem. I can't just keep restarting datacrons because I don't have the low level materials to build them up. All right. Accuracy equals bye-bye. All right. It's not about beating the event. What do you... Oh, somebody... Bale Bond says, with good enough Houndstooth and Ahsoka Tano, you can do the Radis with the Gear 8 or Gear 9 resistance tunes. So you're just talking about getting the Radis ship event done. Drake says it's not about beating the event, it's about farming all those ships. Poe's ship never shows up in the shop, and Ebon Hawk is on a 16 energy node. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The investments that you have to put into the resistance fleet aren't worth it. So just don't build it. Buy the shards, get the shards, and don't ever build the resistance fleet. Alrighty, guys, so we're at 4.7 million galactic power now. Got a pretty good jump this week. That's pretty good. 4.69. We started out, nope. Let me look here. 4.67? Really? So we only added 20,000 galactic power with all of those relics that we built. Huh, okay. All right. I guess that's right. We didn't really build any new characters. We just took Krrsantan up. So we didn't get a whole big boost to galactic power. All right, it's pretty good for the week. 2 relics in the account. Thanks for pointing out the C-3PO thing. I didn't realize that I hadn't taken him all the way to Relic 7, so I'll do that, finish him out, get that box checked off in the journey guide, and get farming Krrsantan, and we'll see this next week how we can balance that out and make things work, and hopefully pull this all together so that we can get Jabba as soon as possible. Alrighty, y'all. Thanks, everybody, for coming and hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Got to get off the stream here and get on to my next commitment now, so we're going to wrap it up. Please remember on the way out, use that like saber, kill that like button, smash it, crush it, annihilate it, hit it with force lightning, whatever you want to do. Get that like button out of here. Subscribe to the channel to know when I'm online. Hit that notification bell. That helps the channel out. It helps these videos get more traction. Also, join us over on Discord. The link is in the description down below. All kinds of cool people hanging out on the Discord, answering questions, talking about things, chatting, and hope to see you over there. If you're a new player, mid-game player, there's a lot of good conversations happening that you could be part of, so hope you join. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next holocron.